Hey there and happy Wednesday. So hope you guys are having a good day so far today. Coming to a little bit later because we went shopping and we're supposed to get another snowstorm tomorrow. So wanted to stock up on all those essentials, and my college son's home for spring break, so needed that Sam's Club Walmart run to both feed him while he stays here and send some goodies back home. I think you guys can relate to that. Hey there, Lisa. So that's kind of what we were doing earlier today, and just want to catch my iPad up here before I get going. There I am. It actually caught up really fast. Hi, Rosina. So today I'm bringing you card number 2 for Jenny Allen's virtual party. I'm really excited how it turned out today. It's that new Queen Bee bundle, and I've had this since it came out and just kind of been waiting and holding on to it to show you guys something with it because it has been unavailable for quite a long time. Next week it should be available, so don't like rush to your computer to quick try and order it because the dies are sold out. The stamp set's in, but it's the dies that is part of the problem for the bundle. But it's a beautiful stamp set, and I also got the privilege, like if you look in the mini catalog, actually let me turn my camera around and I can kind of show you what I'm talking about. So let me get this going. And here we go. There's my hostess, Jenny. Here's the card. You can see that a lot better there. And so in the catalog, this comes from the mini catalog, and it's on page, you guys probably think there she goes with that silly goose stamp set. Well, it's right across the page. And so when you see this and you see the here we go. Inspired by million sales achiever Laura Milligan. Whenever you see those, and a lot of times on the stamp set too, if that catches your eye, that little symbol there, that means that somebody that achieved their $1 million in sales helped design the stamp set. And when I went to Vienna, Austria, back in November, got the privilege to meet up with Laura, the most down-to-earth demonstrator I think I've ever conversed with. And we spent like the rest of the Vienna trip together at the Stampin' Up! Event because there wasn't a lot of us U.S. demonstrators there. So it was just kind of fun to seek out other ones that were there, and she was one of them. So that was really fun. Like I said, so sweet, so down to earth. And then to see her presentation with this set was just amazing too. So my hostess Jenny has reached out to me, and yes, Lisa, I'm working with more blues. And if you think I love blues, what I love even more is popping in just a little bit of yellow, either bright or pale. Today I'm going a little bit pale, and so I love that. And so my hostess, hi there, Pam. My hostess Jenny, and she kind of gave me her wish list and said, hey, do you have anything like any of these products to work with to do something with? Well, on her list was this Queen Bee bundle, and then she also was looking at getting some of the Sun Prints products from the annual catalog. She likes this whole suite too. And so I kind of looked around like, okay, I need some inspiration to try and tie these together. And I found that and so kind of looked at some other people's inspiration and came up with this one myself, just pulling bits and pieces together. And like I love blue, and like I said, I love popping a little bit of yellow. So it was really fun to make this happen for you guys. And so let me get started with it. Hey there, Sherry, good to have you on here. Thanks, Lisa. I think it's kind of pretty too. Just like sometimes some projects turn out better than what you anticipate. So I was pretty excited about it. Don't we all have kind of those ooh-ah moments where I don't feel like it's bragging, I feel like it's a fun surprise. So, all right. So kind of the products that I'm working with are Basic White, So Saffron, the Sun Prints Pretty Paper. And in case you're like, okay, that's too small of a sample, Belle, what are you really working with? It's that 12 by 12 from the annual catalog that I just showed you. And it's got lots of those navies and blues and Sahara sand. I think, well, I should look back here, but it's the Sun Print. Oh, gray granite, that's it. And just kind of pulls in some of that new starry sky and such too. So really pretty paper. And then just it was one of my favorites, but I kind of like put it off to the side because I used it so much. So I'm pulling in some Night of Navy. And then for my card base, I'm choosing to work with a thick white instead of the basic white. Just gives the base a lot firmer material to work with that way. So that's that. So what I'm going to do first is from that Sun Prints suite of products. Oops, I got a die stuck there. Also from the annual catalog, part of that is the Fern 3D embossing folder. So I'm just going to start, and that's going to be kind of our backdrop to our card here. So let me pull over my cut and emboss machine here, like so. And I'll load that up with my thick plate number 1. And then I've just got this piece here of basic white that's 4 by 5 1/4 inches. I'm just going to feed that in here. It's a little crooked. I don't think it really matters with this design, but just in case, I'm just going to straighten it out there and then put plate number 4 on top. And that just glides through so nice and slick. So we've got that fern, and I love our 3D embossing folders just because they're so deeply ridged, and it really gives us a nice design. Well, hello there, Janet. Haven't talked to you for a while. It's good to see you on here. All right, so I've got a classy card for you today. So I just think this fern is a really like just a nice look as far as just like classy. So it's kind of fun besides just being nature in the nature's prints. Okay, so I'm just going to take and run my my seal adhesive on, and I make sure with my 3D embossing folders that I put my adhesive as close to the edge as I can. Oops, that's like the wrong size, you guys. Doesn't that, that's wrong. I'm just gonna set that aside. It feels like it's the wrong, I don't know. I don't like that. Let's see. Yeah, that is not. Every once in a while I'll do that. Yeah, that is not 4 by 5 1/4. I didn't realize it. It was very close until I go to put it on. It's like, that's not framing my card the way I want it to. So, redo. Okay, so I'm just going to put that in here. And this is the joy of going live. Is like, you can't make this up. Like, it just happens sometimes. And I know it's refreshing for you guys to see that, because then you go, okay, Belle isn't perfect all the time. She just, you know, comes up with all these videos, and you guys think I have this down pat, but I'm human too. All right, there we go. This has to be now 4 by 5 1/4. So when I put on my adhesive, I want to get this as close to the edges as I can, just because sometimes with the 3D embossing folders being a little bit more deeply grooved, then sometimes they'll want to like lift up a little bit along the edges, but if I get that adhesive really close, then it doesn't seem to affect that as much. Some people will even use the Seal Plus, but I feel like this works really well. And I do put my adhesive on a little bit slower. Sometimes those grooves, you know, can affect that too or whatever. So if I take it nice and slow, it seems to work out well. So we've got this white on white as our card base. And then next, I'm going to just take and adhere these two pieces together. This is the Sun Print 1.5 by 5 1/4 is what I cut this little strip off of. And then I'm just going to put that on a piece of Night of Navy that I cut 1.75 by 5 1/4. So I'm just going to get some adhesive on there as well. And this is going to go, I would say, like on the bottom third. It's not quite halfway across the top, and then it just fits right on top of that fern layer there. So we've got that. Now I'm going to do some stamping. So this is where I just have this basic white piece of paper, which I knew wasn't supposed to be on there because it's larger than 4 by 5 1/4. So I knew that I didn't mess up with that. So let me do some stamping on there. I'm going to pull out my Night of Navy. And when you see this card, it's almost unbelievable that, but not too unbelievable, that the only ink pad that I'm using is the Night of Navy. And I'm just incorporating different things with cardstock and kind of embellishing it to make it look like there's more to it than just that. So let me ink up this gorgeous bee here. I'm just going to put it in the corner to save some space. There we go. And just with the detail in there, it's just so pretty. And it's Night of Navy, but it just looks so dark that it almost looked black. I noticed at the when I was working on my sample that it kind of came out a little dark, but it'll dry in just a few minutes. The ink dries so fast that it will also like start to look more navy than black. So in case you're going like, is that black or is it Night of Navy? It really is. So we've got that, and then I'm going to run that through my cut and emboss machine here. And also, oh, let me show you the dies here, because these are some really cool dies. These are the Queen Bee dies. These are the ones I'm using. So there's a fun label, so I'm going to use that. And then we've got kind of this nice little swag, so I'm going to use that. And like a little honeycomb type for the bee piece. And then a teeny tiny little heart that I'm going to use. And then this kind of matches that little swag, but it's just a little piece here. And then this is for the bee. So I'm going to use that. And then I was kind of going to give you guys the option if you like this flower or not with what I did. But look, there's still more. Now I sound like an infomercial. And look, there's still more. So we've got some like extra leaves. I'd love to layer that over with vellum on a different project for a different day for you guys. And just smaller bees and like a nice floral thing that matches the stamp set, bigger flower crown, and different things like that. So we've got that. And then the other die that you won't be surprised at all that I'm using is from Stylish Shapes. So I'm just going to use a stitch circle to add to my project too. Hi there, Fern. All right, so let me get some of these on here. So I'm just gonna just kind of put the circle on here. Let's see, I'm just gonna go like this, because this I'm just cutting out kind of for the shape, and both the circle and that tag. And so that doesn't need any lining up. It's just that bee, and that lines up really well. So that's gonna all go through on basic white so that I can cut through all in one shot. And so you can see here that I've got, sometimes they want to stick to my cutting pad because it's so well loved. Okay, and my bee, so that turns out so nicely cut out like that. And let me just move these dies off of here and that white piece of cardstock. And then I'm going to bring in that So Saffron piece of cardstock here. And let me put that swag on there and the honeycomb, that extra piece of swag, and a heart, and this little flower too. So I'm just gonna line those up on there, and then I can cut all of that through at the same time too. Turn my machine around so I'm doing it backwards for you guys the way I'm used to. All right, so now I've got all of these pieces, and these come out really nice too. So I've got this nice big swag here. Gonna carefully peel this off. My first one just kind of popped out, but okay, so I've got that, and then I've got this flower here, and I love that it not only cuts, but it gives you a nice embossed look. Teeny tiny heart, like tiny, but I'll show you why, and that'll make more sense here as I work with it. And then we've got this piece of swag, just a smaller version of the other, and then we've got this, which I'll show you when I put it on, why I didn't use an adhesive sheet. Depending on what project I would be using, I might want to use an adhesive sheet for a different day. But that's that. So now we've kind of got all these pieces, and I can start to assemble. So I think what I'm going to do next is just bring out my little piece of scratch paper here, and with my Stylish Shape circle, say that fast 3 times. Hi there, Barb. I'm going to take the new small blending brushes. This is the first time I've used it, and you can tell like it's too white. Like this is the first time I've used these, and I really like it. It almost feels like a toothbrush grip because it's smaller. So I'm just going to counterclockwise add some Night of Navy ink to this, and I love it because I feel like I have a lot of control when I'm using it on my project. So I'm just going to kind of swipe along the edges like so, put some on there, and then I'm also going to kind of catch the edges on my little tag here like so too. So getting some Night of Navy. I don't want to go too heavy and take away from like the words and my B. So now that's ready to go. And I did get accidentally a little line on there, but that I can cover up with my B very easily. So to put this on, I'm just going to grab some dimensionals here. I can get rid of this. I feel like my scratch piece of paper is so scratchy that from other projects that might take away from what I'm working on, it might be a distraction. So I'm just going to put a couple dimensionals on the back side of my B, and then I can attach that to my stylish shape circle here, like so. So that's centered. And then I'm going to flip this over, and I'm going to put about 4 dimensionals here on the back of my circle. So that's kind of now double popped up. And then that's ready to go on my card. But before I put this on, I'm just going to take this yellow or so saffron swag piece that I cut, so you can kind of see how big it was. I was going to maybe even center this, but I kind of liked kind of having it at an angle there. Hey there, Steph. Thanks for popping on. So I'm going to put this at an angle, and also this B piece at an angle like so. So we kind of have a little pop of yellow coming out from there. And then that tiny, tiny heart, that I'm just going to press onto a glue dot with my thumb and then peel that off. And that's going to fit right in the center of that B, where there was a heart before, just it was white, it was uninked, and now that just kind of ties all of that in there together. And now we've got this tag, and one of the words from the stamp set Queen Bee is Queen. So I'm going to ink that up in Night of Navy. And I kind of like this font too. It's kind of a fun font. So yeah, thanks Pam, because I love blue and yellow together as well. So now with this, I'm just going to put about 3 dimensionals to pop up this as well. And this is where, like, okay, I get to this point and go, I wonder what I like better. I'm not sure. On my sample, I just took this extra piece of that swag and kind of tucked it underneath there. But I'm going to show you the difference if I just put this on here like so, and then take a glue dot, here we go, and still kind of incorporating some of that so saffron color and just kind of putting this in the corner, and it still kind of coordinates. Otherwise, I feel like this one's maybe a little bit more subtle and the same, but that brings in a little bit more color. And yet I wasn't sure if I wanted to do maybe like a couple of them and tuck one behind the other. So maybe I'll do that and show you guys. So as prepared as I am when I come to do these videos, sometimes it's just like, I'm not sure what I want to do. And then you guys leave me comments, and I always appreciate that. Like, you guys will say, oh, I like the swag better, or oh, I like the flowers better. I don't think there's a right and wrong. Personally, I kind of like the look of this one better than that one. And then the other piece that I want to put on then is that little honeycomb shape that I had cut out too. And I'm going to just press off to the side, kind of just a little bit of the glue dot onto the side. And like I said, normally I would put this on an adhesive sheet so it's all sticky on the back side, but I'm going to just tuck that kind of underneath the B here so it kind of sticks out. And I like that it looks kind of loose there, and that just really adds a lot of texture in there, and that's just kind of a fun. And these are some colors that I absolutely love. So we've got some navy and crumb cake and white. And so I have, I don't know, I've been using a lot of the crumb cake. So what I have left is a lot of navy and white, which is a good thing. And I'm surprised I have any navy left, because if you guys know me at all, I use navy and blues a lot. So I'm just going to pull a large one. They've got 3 different sizes on here for us. And then on either side, I'm going to use the medium so that we get the, you know, grouping of 3 that's pleasing to the eye here, like so. So that kind of finishes the card that way. Hi there, Leanne. So Yeah, it is a cute little honeybee combo. I just love this. Like I said, I have been kind of waiting impatiently with it selling out right away because everybody loved it. But like I said, it should be back, and the expected time is sometime next week. So I thought, okay, I can start showing it, I hope. And then they have a crown and a happy and a birthday, 3 different stamps, but I kind of just squished them all together on one block. And that I'm going to ink up in Night of Navy, stamp that out, and happy birthday. So we kind of have that queen here and then the crown to coordinate with that there. Oh, hey there, Pam. You just jumped in, my second Pam of the video. And I'm using lots of dies again today. So you might want to hit replay and watch this because I think you'll like all the dies that I used and lots of embossing and such. So this is card number 2 for my hostess, Jenny Allen. And so get that turned around here. So how you can get the set of 3 cards that I'm making for her virtual stamp party here online is place a minimum $25 order. And I know some of you are like, oh, waiting for this maybe, but somebody said, you know what, I like that silly goose yesterday. So she went ahead and ordered from Jenny's party, placed her minimum $25 order, and got the 3 cards. So she's going to get yesterday's, today's, and I'm not sure if I'm going to do my next demo for Jenny tomorrow or Friday. Sometimes when the weather gets blustery here, I get kind of lazy. Doesn't everybody want to watch movies, put together a puzzle, or I might just like make a ton of food because my college kid's home. We'll see. Or I might go, you know what, I can do nothing else. I might just stamp for you guys. So, so either tomorrow or Friday, I'll come with card number 3 for Jenny's virtual event. So we'll see how that goes. But if you have any questions or need help ordering, let me know, and I'm here to help. Until next time, thanks so much. Bye-bye.